Hi friends, welcome to my new class. Today we can discuss how to formulate a research problem. In the previous classes, we have studied what is a research, what is a research proposal, what are the steps involved in making a research proposal, and what are the components of a research proposal. As I said earlier, a research problem is a situation which is faced by a researcher either in a theoretical or in a practical way, which he or she should consider as a main issue in related to people or any sort of phenomena in their life. In the early stage, a researcher may think creating or generating a research problem is an easy task, but it is not such an easy task. There are certain methods for creating a good research problem. Otherwise, in the middle of the research, you may feel that the research topic or the problem you have chosen is not of any relevance. Let's see the major sources of research problem. The major sources of research problem can be mostly related to 4 P's alphabet P. The first one is people, the second one is program, the third one is phenomena, and the fourth one is problem or issues. The source people means studying about a group of people or an individual, like an ethnic group or a group of people residing in particular area like hilly region, like desert region, some sort of people who were not related to the main world. Like that, we can study a group of people. Then comes an individual, like some prominent personalities, like say Abdul Kalam, the life of Abdul Kalam, or life of certain prominent personalities in the history, Napoleon or Alexander or Mughals, some Mughals, we can study. Then studying a problem. Studying a problem means studying about an issue or problem which is relating to the human or relating to certain person or relating to some phenomena, etc. Say for example, if we are studying about the water scarcity of a region, or if we are studying about the virus spread like corona or Nipah, we are studying a problem which is affecting a group of individual, a group of people. Next is program. Programs means evaluating the effectiveness of a program, like the programs implemented by government for eradicating poverty or for generating employment, like certain programs government is generating. So evaluating its effectiveness or its impact to the people. That is the relevance of program, studying a program. The last one is a phenomena. Phenomena means some occurrence or some existence, like studying about gravity of the earth, or studying about the motions of tide in oceans. Like that, there are certain phenomena occurring in our earth. So studying it as a problem and finding the reason behind it, that brings us to a result. These are the major sources of research problem. Now let us see what should be considered when creating a research problem. The consideration, we can divide it into two. One is considering as an individual and considering as a research problem. For a researcher or an individual, for creating a research problem, there are four main factors which influences. The first one is the interest of the researcher. The second one is the magnitude of the researcher. The third one is the measurement of the concept. And the last one is the level of experience he has. First one is interest. Interest of the researcher is very essential for creating a research problem. If the researcher may feel that the research problem is not of his interest, he should stop it from the initial step, from the first step itself. He should find out a problem which is of his interest. Otherwise, in course, he may feel boring or irritating and he may feel to stop the research in half its way. The second one is the magnitude. Magnitude here means the time taken and the quantum of the data which should be collected. If the quantum of the data or the time taken for concluding the research goes beyond the time limit, it will be a difficult task for the researcher. So, before going to the research, we must identify or we must have a magnitude in our mind about the research. This research will end within 3 years. This topic can be concluded within 3 years. This data can be acquired within the time frame. So there should be a magnitude. The next one is measurement of the concept. The measurement of the concept means the researcher should have clear indicators of measurements which he is going to take. For solving a problem, there should be certain indicators. So he must be clear about those indicators before going into the problem. And he must be clear that he can assess and analyze that indicators within the time frame. And the final one is level of experience. That I have already told you about the importance of reviewing. Before going into the research problem, you should have a thorough knowledge about what you are going to do. Only reviewing and your experience help in this matter. The number of reviews means the number of or the amount of knowledge. If the number of review is more, the amount of knowledge of the researcher is also more. While selecting a research problem, the main consideration should also give in the relevance of the topic you are selecting, the availability of the data you are going to take, and the final one is you should have a consideration regarding the ethical issues. These three factors which directly deals with the research problem you are going to take. The relevance of the topic means the research problem should address something relevant for the society, nation, or some organization, or some individual, or the researcher itself. But there should be some relevance. Otherwise, spending the time for research will become a waste. The next one is availability of the data. Before going into the research, the researcher must be clear about the availability of the data. In the initial stage, without going in deep, we may feel that the data is freely available. But when coming into action, in certain cases, this availability of the data will be the main constraint of our research. There are cases this availability of data or inavailability of data forced the researcher to stop his research in its course. So, this availability of data is also an essential part. The last one is ethical issues. Say if you are studying about a group of persons or group of people who are not familiar with the research, they may feel that they are going to expose or they will be exploited. And there are certain cases we may humiliate their values. So be sure that don't make any ethical issues for the specimens you are taking. These are the major consideration that should bring in your research problem. There are 7 steps involved in creating a research problem. The first step is identify a broad area of your topic that you will get from different reviews or from some experienced person or either from your own experience. The next step is dividing that topic into different subgroups. Based on the topic you have taken, you have to study different subgroup of the main topic. The third step is identifying the topic which is interested for you. The fourth step is raising research problem from the subgroup or the area you have selected. First one, selecting a topic or the area of topic. Second one, dividing it into subgroup. Third one, identifying a particular subgroup. The fourth one is selecting or creating a research problem from that subgroup. The fifth one is creating objectives. I already told you the importance of objectives. Objectives means subdividing your problem. The solution of a research problem comes from grouping these objectives. So the fifth step is identifying the objectives. And the sixth step is assessing the objectives. Assessing the objective means whether the objectives you have taken is of any benefit to your research, or whether the objectives you have taken will bring you to a particular solution. And the final one is double check. Double check means you should rewind the entire process 1, 2, 3, 4 many times. The more you check, the more clear you about your research. These are the 7 main steps involved in formulating a research problem. We have discussed about the various sources of research problem. We have discussed about major consideration to be made in research problem. And we have discussed about various steps involved in creating or formulating a research problem. So keep in mind that the research problem is the core of your research. This research problem should be validated many times before going into your research. This will ensure reliability for your research. Thank you. Thank you for watching this class.